think we're all good. Yeah, we're good. All right, cool. So with the 40 duels tournament coming, 5 days from now, this Saturday, gonna be jamming a bunch of Legacy. I might also skip Modern on Wednesday. We'll see how I'm feeling. But if the trial run was any reason to gauge how well I am going to perform, then we're going to do really well because we won the 40 duels trial, whatever, win a bye, whatever you want to call it. There were only 11 people that showed up though, so it was like 4 rounds cut to top 4. So it wasn't a huge deal that we won. It wasn't that hard, but it was still. I only had to play 5 rounds, I guess, because I drew round 4, just ID'd into the top 4. But anyway, still had to win 5 times to get first place, win the bye. And now with the bye, there's a lot more likelihood that you can perform well in the actual tournament. So there's supposed to be like 200 players or something. And I don't know, I'll be like the only one with a free win, unless there's an odd number of players after me. But anyway, regardless of any of that, we're going to be running back the same 75 that I registered for that tournament yesterday, which is actually, I think, the same 75 I registered on Friday when I played the deck. And then I talked about how, like, Hallowed Spirit Keeper and Crusading Knight, like, didn't matter at all. And then Hallowed Spirit Keeper actually was surprisingly good the one time I had it. And Crusading Knight, I boarded it in once, got Thoughtseize once, and that was the end of Crusading Knight. That was it. But the Hallowed Spirit Keeper fending off a game that actually Mirroring Crusader probably couldn't have won, in which I had to, like, block 2 Death Shadows and then, like, take a hit from a Gurmag Angler and still be able to attack, like, through a Delver for a lethal, and I had, like, I got 5 spirits off of it or something. It was very, very good. Hooked up Battle Scroll to one of them. It was a good time. So anyway, Hallowed Spirit Keeper kind of pulling its weight. I think especially in just, like, most of the Delver matchups, along with Grixis Control, it's actually decent. Anyway, let's play some Magic here. Competitive Legacy Leagues. Is that your alarm? Okay. Thank you. Alright, let's go. Who's on the board here? Is Phil on the board? Julian, Bryant, bunch of people. So I don't see Landon. I don't know what he's doing. I might have also just, like, missed him when I was scrolling through. Anyway. Cats are murdering each other in the background there. You might be able to see him if I move out of the way.
Can you see them?
Yeah, like barely. I don't know how good it's looking on Twitch, but you definitely see the movement over in the corner. Oh, now they're kind of out of sight. Alright. I feel like I'm supposed to... Was this the Omni opponent? Like the blue-black Omni? Eesh. Yeah, it's definitely bad if it is. I think I remember... Because I remember the person, like, saying hi right at the beginning, and the name is vaguely familiar. But God, if I remember. Yeah. Lee J. So this is probably blue-black Omni, then? Either way, I actually might keep this hand if it wasn't blue-black Omni, which is not good testing. This hand also just kind of sucks against, like, Grixis and Miracles, too. Drone File's good. I'm going to ship it knowing full well that I probably would have kept it. Just trying to convince myself otherwise. Oh, sick. Don't even have to recruit for that anymore. We do have to hit a third land, however. But I think with Prelate on 3 plus Mom, don't know how my opponent like gets around that. Chooses not to shuffle. We're gonna hedge our bets a little bit here. If they're on blue like Omni, obviously, just definitely gonna snap off that attack. But the 1 damage isn't worth like the possibility of them being on anything else, even though I'm pretty sure all Lee J plays is Omni. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Should just cred the Prelate to the bottom. Hot tech. Now we probably just like can't win unless we can like Thalia plus port them out. Might just recruit a Thalia here if this resolves. Nope. Alright, yeah, we're probably dead. Yeah. Sure. Alright. Well, we tried. We weren't even beating this, just like the turn 3 with Omni Emrakul without, we didn't even be able to Prelate that because we didn't draw the other white source. But them's the breaks. Opponent had like Thoughtseize plus Force plus turn 3 Omni. Pretty good. So we want these. I don't think we want Surgical. I don't think my opponent's deck has Intuition, especially when you have something like Limdol's Vault. I also never like figured out if my opponent had Lotus Petals in their deck last time. Well, we're already like actually running out of room here. None of these cards seem very good. Guess we'll keep in like Walking Ballista. Howled Spearkeeper could help against like a Wrath. Imagine my opponent probably has some like sort of. Although Ballista helps against Strix, we'll keep it in Ballista. My opponent has Baleful Strix in their deck. This is probably actually good enough. Chalice on 1 into Recruit for Prelate. Plus we have Caracas and Wasteland to try to stymie some of the stuff my opponent is doing. It's like a turn 4 Sanctum Prelate, which on the play might be good enough. So just because we can try to bait like counter spells with this. Well, we don't get like thoughts. They force this, then Thoughtseize me, then we're obviously dead. But I'm not gonna mull a hand because it loses to Force plus Thoughtseize. What's up all the time? Guess these legacy cards have been coming in the mail. Nice, nice. You excited to play the greatest format in Magic? Alright, we're gonna hope my opponent doesn't turn 3 me with Omniscience. And just grab lag, computer Y. There we go. My opponent just has like turn 3 with Omniscience. Again, sure, whatever. We didn't keep a hand with like Thalia in it. Oh, sick, they're not even hitting their 3rd land drop. Awkwardly, my Problem 3 turns off my Council's Judgment, but I don't think there's a way my opponent can, like, get in an Emrakul. They still can remove this Prelate because it's post-board and we don't have, like, a Mother of Runes, but the removal is 1 mana. They cannot. But if it's 2 mana, they can. Echoing Decay is interesting. I wonder why that's their choice of removal. Like, why Echoing Decay? Really want to draw Thalia and or Rashadenport at this point. Maybe Echoing Decay, like, doubles his token? Like, what? Like, I'm not as concerned about, like, empty the warrants and stuff. Kills, like, multiple Ether Swords or something, or multiple Prelates. Just name Lotus Petal. I mean, if they have one in their deck and they draw one, I would much prefer to turn it off. I assume that if they kept a hand with like 2 lands, that they're on Show and Tell Omniscience Emrakul. Oh, right. Yeah, Chalice of Wood. Oh, well. Not like it was doing a whole lot in hand. We draw like a Thalia or a Port. We're getting to the point where like my opponent can Omniscience Emrakul me and then attack, and then I'll still have enough permanents to cast a Council Judgment on it after. Not like that's gonna do much good. Wait, my opponent just like discard a Preordain instead of... Oh yeah, they can't cast it. Chalice of Void. I'm an idiot. I don't know what Chalice of Void does apparently. So this Chalice feels like it's definitely giving them the business. Hopefully they just like don't draw any lands ever as we slowly beat them down with our motley crew. Keep playing around, playing lands to insulate the coming Emrakul. Oh, thank God, we drew Rashadenport. We might actually win this. Okay, sick. We won. That was statistically... Well, I guess my opponent didn't find any lands, and I didn't find any action for a really long time, so... Win some, lose some, I suppose. I think we're just running back the same list and hoping that we get lucky again. Or that we can have, like, Mom into Prelate. Because I think Mom into Prelate is very hard for my opponent to deal with. I imagine a lot of their removal is targeted. Curious, they might have a sweeper of some sort. Like maybe a Toxic Deluge or something to get rid of a Massacre, perhaps. Massacre would make sense to be in a deck like this. This hand sucks. This hand also sucks. On a mull 6 on the draw, can we go to 5? I don't think so. We'll have Jailer to beat, like, natural Emrakul. We'll have, like, Wisp, but it's delay against Omniscience. I think I'm keeping this and then scrying this Thalia that I obviously knew was on the top. my opponent plays a non-basic, I think I'm going to wasteland it. If they play a basic, I think I'm forced to just jam this Thalia and hope it doesn't get countered. Oh, never mind. They're just gonna take my Thalia. Now we'll just cast Walking Ballista. Or top deck second Thalia. I feel like porting's better than just like playing a 1/1 here. I know we can't actually utilize this Vial to put in a Ballista or anything, but I feel like trying to tax them on mana is one of the only ways you win these games. Unfortunately, they've also Inquisitioned me, so they know the Wasteland's in my hand. So they're not going to fetch note around there. They also have, they know I have all these cards, so they can play around, like me jailering their Emrakul and such. They don't know about this Council's Judgment, though, so there's a chance if we can draw another white source, and they don't have a counter spell, that we can Flicker West their Omni and then untap Judgment it. I think I'm just going to port them again, though. Import them off of black. No, this isn't death. This is just more cantripping. Opponent digging deep. We really want to draw a second white source. Or like a Sanctum Prelate. Oh, second white source is good. Now we can play Ballista for 1. They've got a lot of stuff to work through to beat. Alright, so this is happening. I think I'm just putting in jail. I feel like they're putting in Omniscience, but the jailer getting put in here is just free, so. You can always just file in the Flicker Wisp. We just get to like become the Monarch. So we can jailer the Emrakul, I think, is the only... Because we can flicker our Flicker Wisp. Or we can use Flicker Wisp to flicker our Emrakul. Or our jailer, sorry. I guess I could have put in the Omni to stop them casting Emrakul here, but then you have like a second Emrakul to punish me. I mean, I guess with like free cantrips, it's not that hard to punish me here, but... One on top, one on bottom. Yeah, maybe the Flicker Wisp was the not dumb idea. It's like overthinking my lines. Hopefully they just brainstorm lock themselves and they don't have another Emrakul. I guess they could also have removals for Jailer. So this is probably not great, yeah. Murderous Cut, interesting. Yeah, this was like dumb in a lot of ways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it's just like I played this turn basically as poorly as possible. Oh, we have to sack all. Yeah, we're dead. Yeah. I really beefed that one. I just like if I stop overthinking things and just put in the Flicker Wisp for the Omni, then the trigger goes on the stack, so they don't have priority to cast the Emrakul over. And then I have to just like beat a counterspell. The Palace Jailer was dumb. Which game do we lost game 1, won game 2, lost game 3. Because my opponent didn't know I had a Council's Judgment in my hand, so they could have easily been planning on, okay, put in an Omniscience, they'll Flicker Wisp it, but then just next turn I get to cast this Emrakul. And then we're fine. If they had a counter, obviously, we're just dead, but I don't think we were beating a counter. Jeez, these hands are super risky against, like, Wasteland in this format. Two double white cards. It's like these are uncastable. We can go like Stoneforge into Recruiter. I think I like it, like barely. Lead with Wasteland, give the least possible amount of information. Alright, could be a lot of things. Alright, Death Shadow. So we're probably Stoneforging for Sword here. Unfortunately, this is also a Wasteland deck, which is really bad for me. So they just like Wasteland this Caracas. Oh, never mind, we're good. I'm just gonna jam this Mystic. If they daze it, whatever. They're not dazing this Crusader down the line. There's Sword or GT? Maybe it's GT. Yeah, it's probably GT. GT is way better against like Gurmag Angler and such. So it could also just like Thoughtseize me here, but then we still have the GT and the Flicker Wisp and stuff to get online. Flip off a Ponder. Yep. Yeah, Thoughtseize. Unfortunate. We might spend this turn recruiting up the second Crusader. Although playing the Wisp is pretty desirable into this in Sectal Aberration. Yeah, easy take. Stoneforge Dumpy. Don't I wish? One day they'll unban Stoneforge in Modern. So Flicker Wisp or Recruit Crusader attempting. I feel like my opponent's on Gurmag. I guess they could also be on Death Shadow. They just didn't have a chance to deploy either this turn, but I think we just want to try to take this Aberration off the table and force them to either. Yeah, no, this is Legacy. Yeah, here we got Wastelands or Rashadan Ports. Just Flicker their Delver. There's a chance it doesn't flip. They shuffled off their Ponder. Might be Flickering Stoneforge might be better value there. If I get Thoughtseized again, might want a second equipment. Reveal off days, alright. Important card to play around. This looks like a Gurmag Angler. Oh no, a him taking my GT. And then also Thoughtseize. Jeez. They are at 8, but I'm immediately regretting my decision of not flickering the Stoneforge. Seems like a pretty good line. Wasteland, Port, Plow, just bash. So they can't actually answer a Flickerist that well in this deck. They need like Dismembers or Snuff Outs. Or Revolted Pushes. But this is just like an Angler or something. Or even better, just another cantrip. We're just going to like put them in the dirt, put them to 2 life here. Yeah, they're just dead. Alright, good. Did not get punished from, like, Thoughtseize into him Thoughtseize and not giving myself the chance of having an extra card in my hand. I'm not sure. It was probably worth flickering the Stoneforge just because I'm just going to always trade with that Delver if they give me the option. The upside is, like, I save 2 life if the Delver doesn't flip and then they kill off my Flicker Wisp. So yeah, I think it's probably just worth flickering the Stoneforge there, especially against a Thoughtseize deck. I go back and forth at a Relic Order in this matchup. People have anything from like Pithing Needle to Ratchet Bomb to Dread of Knights. Oh no, I won the bye to the 40 duel tournament. There was like a pre-40 duel tournament, and the winner of that got a bye to this one the next coming week. So that's the one I won the other day. I like Recruiter a little bit more in this matchup, or in this iteration of the deck, because we have that stupid shit like Crusading Knight. Just a single buy. Oh, we also got, like, there was also, like, store credit prize. It was, like, $20 entry. I got $50 or something. But also, getting a buy to, like, getting the only buy to this big 200-person tournament is a pretty good deal. A PPP. It was more like a, aren't there, like, win a buy? Like, a qualifier? Not qualifier. I forget. Eternal Weekend was doing trial event is what they call them. And, like, there are Eternal Weekend trials that were floating around. Double Chalice. We also have just a bunch of good cards, so I guess. On the draw, we're a little soft to, like, Wasteland, but we're not soft to Thoughtseize. We got a lot of good stuff. They did not shuffle off that Ponder. You guy trying to ruin duels instead of basic planes. Hey man, you can sell those duels for more basic planes. What if I just jam this Chalice? My opponent just hasn't played a threat? Or like, those turn off our own Plow if they, but then they're just out of threats. They could jam like a Lily, but I guess Lily's kind of irritating, but they can just Fatal Push a Thalia with 2 mana up. And we have a backup Chalice, so I don't mind just like jamming this into Daze. And if this resolves, it's just the nuts. If it resolves and we never hit another land drop, it's not the nuts. But one could easily just like fetch Lily me. Which is what it looks like. Which explains like the turn 1 Ponder, turn 2 do absolutely nothing. Yeah. Isn't that threatening? If we can find another land Crusader, we just gotta play around Edict. Always can play Stoneforge here, either way. Wow, drew both Athalias. We could also eventually like recruit a Revoker. But yeah, not drawing the land here is gonna be pretty bad. If they have like an Edict ready for a Crusader. Might just want Batter Skull. Just so I can put relevant pressure on this Lily, assuming I don't draw a land. I have turned off like their Fatal Pushes and stuff. Yeah, we're gonna grab Batter Skull. There's a chance it gets to rot in my hand, but I think most equipment are also gonna rot in my hand this game. Maybe we could just dismember this, do whatever. Snuff out. Yeah. Got a couple more turns to draw the land here. Uh-oh, now we might lose. Because now we draw land, takes up a 6, land takes up a 7. Oh shit, yeah, we're dead. Yep, this is exactly what I said when I kept this. I was like, well, we're on the draw with a 2-lander. We're soft at Wasteland, but we have chances to hit other lands, and then we just didn't, so. What's up all the time? So now we need to draw land into Phyrexian Revoker to win this. Or land into land flickers the Lily, actually. Well, that doesn't do anything. Now are we just dead? Yeah. No point in like discarding more cards. That's kind of annoying, but shit happens. Sometimes you just like don't draw a land for 4, 5, 6 cards, or however many we drew. I think I'd snap keep that again in a heartbeat. And it's not like our Chalice on 1 like was the thing that effed us over. Just keeping 2 lands on the draw and never hitting a 3rd one and then getting wastelanded. So excited for my cards to go. Even though I won't be able to play till December. I mean, sure, you could find some like legacy things if you look around hard enough. Alright, well, we'll keep a 2-lander and die to Wasteland again, because, like, these 2-landers are still very good. We have a lot of good cards. I'm not gonna, like, not keep these hands. I might play Vile instead of a 2-drop if I draw it next turn, but... Man, hope they kept us double Street Wraith no lander. Dang. I swear, we're gonna just get wastelanded. I'm gonna be so mad. And we're just never gonna hit another land drop. Yeah, the Delaware didn't flip. You can tell me Hero's unplayable when you're literally literally Dollar Midnight. Hero doesn't beat Death Shadow or Grixis control. Dollar Midnight. Oh, sick. We're just never gonna draw land. Sounds good. I think my opponent would have deployed a Dread of Night here. Do I want to try to get this Mom online? Or just Stoneforge? I think just Stoneforge. I could, like, Mom hold up Caracas, but... Have you considered Court? Devout Lightcaster? I have, and it's much worse against Grixis, but much better against Death Shadow. But I'm gunning for Grixis more than Shadow. It just also just happens to come in for this matchup. No, no flip again. Eventually this thing's not going to flip off of a Wasteland. Hopefully they really need to cast a 2 instead of Wastelanding me. Don't do it. I think they can actually just Wasteland plus Angler. Which is just the pits. Oh wow. Do you think it's worth casting this? Marsh Casualties. I get a Batter Skull opponent. Were you that concerned about getting this Thalia off the board? Good thing I didn't play Mom that turn, too. Also, we drew another land. Thank the Lord. Imagine Cavern Souls on Core. I think you put Cavern Souls on Cleric, right? I think it's a Cleric. Core Cleric, something like that. I guess, no, you put it on Core because Stoneforge. There are no Clerics in your deck. Unless you're playing, like, Remorseful Cleric. Alright, let's just have this Stoneforge continue to not flip. Sick. 3 for 3. I could just slam a Lily, but then we have a Batter Skull in play, so I'm not terribly concerned. They do get to eat my Mother of Runes, but then I get to eat their Liliana. Or eat their Delver. Double Wasteland's going to be really obnoxious. Could just put in the Sword, but I imagine as soon as I miss the second land drop, my opponent's just going to like Wasteland me again, so I just want to get stuff on the board. I'm going to attack Lily with both here, in case my opponent decides that they want to block Delver on Batter Skull. If they don't, I'll probably just play second Stoneforge. Yeah. If they do, I'm going to just rope their Lily. So my opponent can still, like, deploy a giant guy and Wasteland me, which would be very bad. If they, like, play a Gurmag here, my Germ can't punch through it. This brings them to 9, so technically I could still actually brawl with a Death Shadow. I do get, like, pretty savagely blown out by, like, Dismember or Snuff Out. If they're tapping out. Yeah, Wasteland me again, sure, whatever. Oh, thank God, we drew another land. So I could just attack the Germ at the Lily, and, like, that's it. The danger of, like, Snuff Out on one of my guys, and then the Death Shadow just eats the Germ. And then we're pretty far from winning. I think that's the line. Oh, they only have one card in hand. I guess they could also have Street Wraith, but they already have 2 of those in the yard. Yeah, they're just letting it die. Means a Revoker. It gets better. I think we're just going to put in this sword now. My opponent's already burned through 2 Wastelands. So sword plus equip can easily, like, steal me some games. Or possibly, like, force this Death Shadow to block, if they don't have, like, more ways to lose life. 4 for 4 on Delver not flipping. Why is my opponent playing a Fugitive Wizard in this deck? Echoing Truth on my Germ token. Don't really know why Echoing Truth is their choice of card, but okay. This is fine. It's only 4, I'm at 28. This is like, oh, second Delver, deal. They're not dead, but they're close. Just infinite Stoneforge Mystics. I think we can make them hold the Death Shadow back on defense, though. We just hit them for... Do I want to hit them for 3 or 4? I'm going to shock a Delver draw card, for sure. I think I want to hit them for 4. Hitting them for 3 makes it so that, like, my singular threat won't be lethal next turn, because Stoneforge can only deal a maximum of 5. So I think we're just going to equip the Revoker. It also makes Revoker less susceptible to, like, more Nick 1 hate, like Marsh Casualties or Dark Blast or something. I'm just going to kill a Delver so we don't get pinged for too much. Hopefully find a land. Flip on Preordain. So we're at 24, and I think my opponent needs to start, like, holding the Shadow back to block. Which means where you can possibly overwhelm them. Especially if we find another land for this Crusading Knight. Get him. 5/5 pro black. Didn't shuffle out in the Ponder. Attack with both is horrifying. It means they have another Delve threat. Otherwise, they're just stone dead. I guess they could have removal spell, but I think I'm just going to take 11 here. I can't afford to. We can, like, always chump block this Death Shadow later. It's probably like Gurmag or another Death Shadow. Oh shit, yeah, we got Crusading Knight now. Deal. Ha! And they didn't shuffle off the Ponder, so their next card better be good. Otherwise, we're just equipping Sword to Crusading Knight and getting in. Can't even Deluge. Got him. Whew. See that all the time? See, that's a good, terrible Magic card right there. That is quality, terrible Magic cards in action. We won game 1. Yeah, we won game 1 and game 3. Lost game 2. I've never lost a game 1 against Shadow. Played against it 7 times. Just goes to show how relevant it is to, like, the sideboard cards for Shadow are the only way they have a chance in that matchup. There's so many better cards in Death and Taxes. For that matchup. You have like Mirren Crusaders and Equipment and Mother of Runes and stuff. that they need to play all these, like, various hate cards. Right. Sin sucks. If they had a violence of a land, probably keep it. Like, just port Violent Roker, port Violent Crusader, but I think we can give her a 6. This is probably better 6. I don't want land number 3, not with this hand. I was hoping for not Thoughtseize. Getting Thoughtseize on your mold of 6 just always feels terrible. I had to take the only threat in my hand. Another land means that we can just port into, like, port plus land, or port plus vial. So I think I just want to port them. Not really worth developing the GT here when we're, like, pretty far away from equipping anything. Let alone, like, being able to connect with it through possible removal spells and such. Oh, sick. They did keep a 1-land Thoughtseize hand. Oh, sick. And we drew Mirren Crusader. So you're saying there's a chance. I'm gonna guess this is Death Shadow. Well, I feel like my opponent might have shocked if it was Death Shadow. Could be Storm, in which case this Crusader isn't going to do much. Like, my opponent kept a 1-lander that could easily just kill me with another land. It is Storm, but I still have Mirror Crusader. We're not dead. Now we just need to draw Wasteland or Port. Or Thalia. I will accept Thalia. Also accept Recruiter of the Guard or Sanctum Prelate. That's probably the worst draw in my deck. That's not true. We have, like, Batterskull, which is arguably worse. No, I won the 40 Duels trial tournament, D. Lewis. It was like, you win a buy if you win it. You win a buy for the 40 Duels tournament. It's hard to display that in context in my title. So, a lot of people are misunderstanding. Tried to emphasize it. Win a buy and trial. Oh, crap. We are stuttering like crazy. He's like dropped a million frames off of a cliff. They didn't shuffle. Stream, come back to me. Technical difficulties, I suppose. Can't figure out what's wrong with it right now. And oh, nice. When I was talking about worst draws in the deck, I was like, oh, maybe Batterskull is the only worst card we could have drawn here. Cool. Could really use a Wasteland, a Caracas, a Thalia, a Recruiter, a Prelate. Even like a Flicker Wisp, just flicker them off of a land for a turn. I don't know what's the deal with my frames going on. I'm trying to fix it while my opponent's murdering me. I'm just gonna like stop and restart the stream, I guess. I'll be right back if you guys can hear me.